I'll let everybody get rolling right here. Get everybody in here. Think. Check the audio. We always check the audio. We got to check the audio. Make sure we're all good. We're almost coming up next. See how it sounds here. Which I do believe we got rolling. On the live show. Wendy. There we go. Hello, everybody, and welcome to Explorers Expresso. Dan Vaughn with you. It's our Wednesday, the 19th of November show, and we got a good one for you again, I hope. Always feel pretty good about these. Voice of the Explorers, talking Sioux City Explorer baseball in the American Association. Max is back with the groomer. We were a little late because had to getting back, but we're not too late to press this in 3, 2, 1. Here we go.
Baseball time in Siouxland once again. The Explorers are out to bring home another win. And when they take the field, they'll be hitting and running and stealing. So come out to the park for that big league good time feeling. Well, it's baseball Sioux City style. Baseball Sioux City style. Gonna conquer the league. Hold on to your seat. The Explorers just won't be beat.
All right. Let's fade it down. Let's go, Watskins. Hello, John. How are you doing? Good to see you, buddy. Glad you guys are along as the music fades out. I got the window in the background right there. I'm not sure why. There we go. Maybe a little better there in the studio. I did rearrange the caps. The wife noticed that, as you can see. Sioux City right there, front and center. Anyway, glad you're along on this Wednesday. If you're watching on the live show, glad you're along. If you're listening to the podcast, I'm glad your ears are listening. Glad you're listening. We've got to get to we'll get to the next hour or so. For the podcast, folks, you're going to get the bonus, which is going to be the 1894 final story. That'll be the very back end of the podcast. You folks, the video side, well, you get the live show, and you might get the live comments, like you see John right there, and get all the news and notes. Where are we? We're going to run to the hot stove a little bit, do that, but a couple of signings since we last chatted. There's not a lot around the league, or is there? Okay. I'll tease that. Get to that as well. A little note from the league as well came out yesterday. We like to kind of keep you folks tuned in there. And we've got Ben DeTay joining us. Of course, you may have seen his name pop up yesterday in the Hot Stove update. So that's all part of our show. Of course, your questions and comments. And my question for you, and now that the World Series is done, the Nippon is done, Fukuoka winning the Japanese league, in case you folks didn't. I'll talk more about the Nippon maybe a little bit more in the winter times. I think it's fascinating baseball. It's a different game. It's a different thing. It's still the same game, but it's a different game. And maybe we'll get to a little bit of that later on. My question for you is, we're talking about Japanese ball, and Australia started off last week. Opening night in Australia for the 4 teams that are left. There's actually 5 teams in Australia. Melbourne is actually playing a limited KBO, Korean baseball fall schedule. They've already played that fall portion in Korea. They're back home now playing some exhibition. They're playing some, hosting some all-star games and what have you. They're not playing in the competition, but there are 4 teams, Sydney, Melbourne. Melbourne's gone, but Sydney, Canberra. Take 2, Vaughn. You know Australia. Sydney, Perth, Adelaide, and Brisbane. They're all still around. Canberra went to the wayside. Melbourne doing their own thing. And but anyway, that all started last week. There's a few association folks there. Maybe some future association folks there. That's all going on. And my question to you, with all that going on, you got winter ball. Chase Jesse, I'm going to talk about in a moment, playing down in Mexico. Chatted with him a bit yesterday. There's quite a few of those Canaries playing down there. And I'm not asking this from the other perspective of Banana Ball. That's not what this question is. So don't take it that way. My question to you is, do you watch Winter Ball? And if you do watch Winter Ball, why? And if you don't, why not? I can make a case for both, why you are watching and why you're not. And I think more or less my answer to you into the show, but I'll give that to you a bit later. There's a DV answer to this that that I think a lot of us maybe are in touch with, are the diehards. I see John Witt on the screen. He's probably following what goes on in Mexico, maybe. I don't know if he follows what goes on in the Banana Ball, but maybe. Um, Probably casually notices a post from Australia, but by and large, most of us are going to be in the very same category of it's not baseball season. We think about it, and I think more or less, and I see Katie out there. Welcome back, Ben. She says, "Good to see Katie out there." I think a little bit of it is um, we think baseball in terms of the return, not so much watching it in earnest like we're watching John on the screen there. LOL. I watching baseball not so much for the competitive nature, just the fact we miss it. I'll credit it to what when there's spring football going on, perhaps a spring game. There's a spring league. You might scroll by there and catch a few minutes and want to see on the top, I don't know, your number one recruit did, or maybe the spring game, or if it's that Saturday spring football, you're kind of catching it a little bit and you're kind of, I can't wait till the fall again, till it's tailgate season and fall weather, right? Because you're coming out of the winter and you're getting into the summer. You're looking forward to summer, and I think that's where we are with baseball. I'll get to that a bit later on, but that's my question for you. Do you watch winter ball? And if so, why? If you don't, why not? And John says it's always baseball season. Been watching games over in Dubai the last couple mornings. See, he's a diehard. He's a better man than me. I love Dubai, been there, think Dubai's cool. I've got a dear mate of mine who's been working in that operation for a while. You know, it's much like the other Emirates, that part of the world, the sport codes, whether it be golf, baseball, Formula One, whatever. They've got a lot of money to spend, and they've got a lot of expats there, and a lot of folks go for destinations, and they're turning it into a destination sport. And I think that's great for baseball. I don't know where it is 10 years from now, but it's got a chance. Probably something we should chat about down the road as well. Much like Vegas is kind of evolved to a place where you now got NFL, NHL, conference tournaments, F1. What am I missing here, right? I mean, you got all kinds of stuff going on. It's become a destination. You got the Major League Baseball coming in there a couple of years. It'll be more and more of a destination for sport fans, right? I had a dear mate of mine, Brett Allred, was at the Cowboy game on Monday, and destination. So again, that's where I come from there. All right, what did we miss when we last spoke? Well, last week we saw the hot stove light up. Actually, Monday. Let's go there, and let's go reverse. Let's go there. Let's go there first because I want to get to our guest in a moment. But I'll bring this down to the screen for you folks in the video side. Let's just kind of go to what we missed the last 24 hours. This all came down yesterday, I believe. Was it yesterday? Yesterday. Yep, yesterday. Here we go. All right, here we go. Yesterday, the Explorers added a pair and a couple of young men, Ben Date, as I just mentioned a moment ago, and Dylan Tatum. Dylan's from Stockton, California. I got to tell you, the signees this club has made the last 2 years, especially from the Pioneer League, have really intrigued me, right? I mean, we go back to last year with Austin Davis and Curtis Byrne, Josh Day, Chase Jesse, a guy I saw pitch in Australia before he was with us. They were all intriguing names coming from the Pioneer League, right? Seeing it already again this year, somewhat to a degree. You've got, already Cam Buford coming our way, all-time home run king at Grambling, had a phenomenal year. And then you're seeing Ben Date, kind of a homegrown and two-time homegrown Iowa guy, and coming right through as a true rookie, much like just like Ryan Beard. We talked about him 2 weeks ago. And then Dylan Tatum, a guy that he has a little of that thing that you're looking for. You got a little pop, got a little personality. All reports sound like he's a guy that comes very highly recommended from the Pioneer League. And remember, the Explorers do have deep roots in the Pioneer League. Les Lancaster, the former manager, dear mates with both Bobby Post, your pitching coach, and Steve Montgomery. They're close. And then obviously Rafael Melchion and then Dan Butler coaching out there last year. There's some connections there. And the reports they're getting from the Pioneer League are going to be very good. They're going to be very deep. And so, again, I'm excited, man. I mean, I find, these type of signings, and I'll pull this up here on the screen for me, these Pioneer League signings, I can't tell you that this time last year, I was excited. Don't get me wrong, okay? But this going forward into what we had in the spring, remember I told you about Josh Day, and when we saw what these numbers were going to look like, it translated, right? All the translations were good. And I think you're going to see that again. I think you're going to see the Explorers do what the Explorers got to do. Steve Montgomery's told us this already. The X has got to do it this way. They've got, we don't have the large market. We're not Cleburne, which, yes, is a small town, the edge of DFW. We're not Chicago or Kansas City. We don't have that. We're a smaller market. We got to make our place a destination, and young men who have to make the next step a destination. And you're seeing it. And you're going to hear some interesting comments from Ben Dete about that. I find that you're also finding what you're getting from these Pioneer League guys is a passion for baseball. And if you know how our organizations run, you know from the top to bottom, passion is the king. It's what we do. We don't have the fancy skybox club and stadium club and all that. We're a little Sioux City, but we have a passion. We have a grit. We have something about us that makes us a loving bunch, right? That's what we have. And you're seeing more and more of that from the Pioneer League than we've seen before. And I love what we're getting there. And again, just seeing that there, my little, good to see some baseball signings in the Carnival baseball signings last week. Kevin says, Kevin Luco, Kevin, I'm going to get to that. That's coming because that does merit discussion and our place as a league, as an organization, but what he's referring to is the Savannah Bananas and the Banana Ball signings, where I believe there are 18 at last count players drafted to play Banana Ball. And we're going to get to that here in a few moments, or in the back end anyway. But yes, it is good to see. Good to see. So again, Tatum, a guy, we know Ben DeTaster, we're going to get to him in a moment, but Tatum, a guy from Stockton, California, as I mentioned, Twins organization, reached AA a few years ago, a 20th round pick in 20. Last year with the Oakland Ballers, 69 ball games, second in the club in home runs, 23, third in the team with 75 RBIs. He's a slugger. This guy can hit. You've added two really good Pioneers. You've added two top 10 Pioneer League sluggers to your roster for next year. And we've seen how the Pioneer League, as I mentioned a moment ago, how it translated last year. You saw the Pioneer League translation, the type of players that will, and I don't see any reason why it won't change. It won't stay the same, and it will change. That's not going to change, right? Is what I'm trying to say. Played a season at University of California, Irvine, a couple of years at San Joaquin Delta College out in California. Again, played a little time in Iowa at Cedar Rapids in the Midwest League in 24. Didn't hit for average necessarily in affiliated ball. 197, Fort Myers 173, but they were all 53 game sample size. They didn't really get a real good look except for 22. We played 72 ball games. That was a career high, and the affiliated ranks. Short stint in complex ball, but he had a really good year last year. 996 fielding percentage in Oakland, 251 base runners. He just made 2 errors in 68 ball games behind the plate last year, 11 errors in 183 professional ball games. So 4 seasons of the Twins organization, again, as I mentioned, and just really, I think he's a guy. It's very intriguing. He's a guy that, you're going to have, you're going to be counting on some power, and you're going to, we know this, as Mongo told us already, you're going to have, platooning catching situation, probably the guy that will be your frontline guy there. We don't know the Curtis Burns situation. It sounds like, from what I understand, He's weighing his options. Curtis has got his degree and then some from TCU. He's got a couple of offers in the workforce. I do understand, but I don't believe there's been a decision made there. And Curtis could very well be in the mix. But if he's not, you've got to get where the getting's good. And this is a guy right here that's getting good. You've got a guy that can hit for some power, and you've got another young man that's a true rookie that'll be part of the platoon. And you've got to have two receivers out there. And this is a situation where you grab what you got to grab when you grab them. And I think this is what you do. And you're planning that for, the rainy day. I'm going to see Dan Hart out there. Going to see you, my friend, there in Kansas City. Hey, Jason, what's up there? What's up there, my friend, beer leader right there, extraordinaire. My mate there, Brett Polly there in KC as well. Good to see you, my friend. Hope you're doing well. And Robert, his family going to have something to watch as well. Robert Drury there in South Carolina. Good to see you guys all there. But again, welcome Dylan Tatum to the fold. Now, Ben DeTay, we're going to talk to him in a moment, but I'm really excited because you're going to see what Steve Montgomery talked about with Ryan Beard. That next step. There's a little, and Mongo talked about it last time he was on with us 2 weeks ago. There's some polish, if you want to use that word, but there's a real high upside. Bobby's excited about having this young man, Ben DeTay, back, and Ben's excited. And that's what you want. You want excited players, folks that are excited. He is, yes, while he wants to be at the next level, he wants to play baseball. And I think that in and of itself is what really excites me. I mean, I love the fact that this young man is fired up, and he's fired up to be a part of the Explorers again. And that's exactly what this team needs. This team needs, you want to be a part of the family, and his kid wants to be a part of the family. And I think that is exactly where this thing's going. And you get a chance to have a guy like this, and well, it just so happens that a guy like this is going to join us right now as well as we roll here on Explorers Expresso. Dan Vaughn with you on your Wednesday, November 11th edition of the podcast and the live show. Let's roll. Get a cool little opening. Let's roll it. See how it sounds here. All right, I've been told the audio's not working. I'm not sure why. So let me sort this out here. This is I know you guys can. I know. Let me see what I can sort here, because this is a new glitch that I will admit to you, okay? Last night I didn't sleep well because I was worried about this exact same thing happening, and dadgummit it did, and I'm really embarrassed. You guys deserve better. You deserve a better show than this, and I apologize. Let's try it again. Let me see what I can do here, because this should be okay. Now I hear it working here on my end. I'm not sure why. Give me a moment here. This is what happens when, again, they change some things up. Let me see what I can do here, because, oh my goodness, guys, I'm really sorry. Let me see here. You guys hear me now, but you're not hearing the interview. Let me try something real quick. Let's just see if you're going to hear it real quickly here. And this will help me a little bit. I do apologize, guys. We're testing here. We're testing. Talk amongst yourselves. Sorry about that, guys. I promise we're coming. Not sure why it's doing this. Nope, not hearing it. Well, guys, that's not good. Let me see here. What have I got to do here? Let me try something real quick. Oh man, I do apologize, you guys. This is really frustrating for me because this is what I do, and it's not working. Let's try something here. Alrighty, no audio, no audio. I'm good now, but I want you guys to the interview. Uh, uh well, I'm at a crossroads here. Let's see here. Let me do one thing here. I do. Sorry about that. Let's see your speakers. Let's try this. Is this going to work for us? No, don't hear it now. It's not working. Uh, Huh. Well, guys, I don't know what to do. Uh, well, I'll just take your questions and comments, I guess. We're going to get this interview on for you, but I don't know what to do. This show's totally turned into a disaster. Uh, I don't know why it's not working for us. Let's try one more thing here. Um, hmm. All right, I'll tell you what I'm going to do. You guys bear with me. I'm going to break. I'm going to go off, test it. I'll come right back. We'll get this show going. Okay. Sorry about that, guys. I'll be right back with you in just a moment. Okay. Give me a moment.